Okay, let's look into how to do an APA reference guide, reference page. Most of what you write in college will be in what's called MLA, the Modern Language Association. So anything you do in English, or I'd even say in most of your first 2 years in college, will probably use that format. My guess is you're learning some of this in your English classes now. However, if you take psychology, sociology, anthropology, education, or social work, you will very likely use APA. So I want you guys to be familiar with it. Knowing how to use a couple of systems going into college will be beneficial for you. So on the top of your page, you will center, underline, and title the page Annotated Bibliography. In college, you'll use your right references. Let me show you how this could look. It's a blank document. You would center, underline. Usually you do this at the end of a paper. You have your reference page, so you'd write references. However, because this is a specific assignment I'm having you do, you're actually going to write annotated bibliography. And bibliography is just a fancy old word for references, or in MLA, they call it works cited. Annotated means you're adding notes, you're adding annotations, you're adding descriptions. So that is what you'll do to get it started. On the first line, you will write out your research question and then write out your research question. You will not do this in college because it will be covered in your research paper. So I just want you guys, for my ease, to put research question and then, write out your question. What is the benefit for teachers taking vacation? Vacation's on my mind today. Okay. So I would like you guys to do that just so I know what question it is that you're answering. Like I said, you very likely will not do this in college, but because in college you'd actually be writing, 5 to 6 to 20 page plus paper where you would clearly go over all that. I'm not making you write a paper. So I just want you to write your research questions so I know what it is. Okay. All right. Next. For each entry, each line after the first one will be indented. You will likely have to press enter and then tab to achieve this. So let's see if I can quickly pull up this article. So, let me just put it this way. If I were to type out author, year, journal title, article title, volume number, and pages, and then blah, 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 blah. This all makes sense in a minute, except for the blahs. Sorry, I'm just trying to fill up this page here. And you see how it puts it on the same page. What you're going to do is you're going to hit enter, then tab, and do it that way. And then for every line that goes on since, so if I were to, just put gibberish, you're not going to do this, of course. This way, you would keep doing enter, tab like that. And then when you started a new entry, stop it. You would then put your next author and on. So that's how it should look. Okay. All right. So for each entry, each line after the first one will be indented. You would likely have to press enter and then tab to achieve this because Google Docs and Word can be kind of annoying. So that's why. Your author's name should be inverted, which means you put their last name first, and then all you got to do is put their first initial. You don't have to put their full name. So if it was mine, say you're publishing an article by me, you would write Walmsley B instead of Brent Walmsley. Okay? All right, everyone feeling good about all this? If you're feeling overwhelmed, don't worry. We're going to get you through it, okay? For work with 3 or more authors. So sometimes, you do research and everyone wants to be a part of the research. They all want credit for it. So they'll, lots of authors will be in on it. So if there are 3 or more authors, I'm not going to make you sit and list them out. Just write the first author and then write et al. Unless doing so is confusing, like if you happen to have multiple articles by the same authors. And sometimes that can happen, especially if you're researching something very specialized. You'll find that it's like these same people that just keep researching the topic and doing different studies on it. So that can happen. Let's hope not at this level, especially since you guys are just starting. But, if that's the case, come talk to me before stressing out. But if your article is more than 3 authors, you're going to write et al. If it has 3 authors, just list them out. Put your first author, last name, first initial, comma, last name, first initial, comma, and in the third person. Okay. What does et al mean? Et al is a Latin phrase. I've never actually looked it up. I assume it means and others or something. I'm really not sure what it means. I've seen it hundreds of times, never really given it much thought. Beyond it has a lot of authors. If you want to learn more, I'm sure Google can tell you. But I wouldn't worry about what et al means because I haven't. And, I went to college for a long time. If you do happen to have multiple articles by the same author, if that happens to happen, then you'd list them in chronological order. So if you're wondering how to, you put all your articles in alphabetical order first. But if you have 2 where, it's the same alphabet because it's the same name, then you list them in chronological order, which means the year it was published. So if one was published in 2014, the other was published in 2020, you put the one in 2014 first. We want to only focus on academic journals because you are only using academic journals. So I'm only going to show you how to do this with academic journals. When you get to college, your professor can show you how to do this with books, magazine articles, web pages, lectures, everything else, but we're only going to use academic journals. Okay? All right, everyone got all these words? Let me stop for a second, make sure everyone's got all this. Give you a quick minute. Okay. Let's do a Renzo cleanser. This is Renzo eating a puppy patty at In-N-Out. Oh, man. Is there anything better than a puppy patty at In-N-Out? Look how cute he is. Look how excited he gets to eat his puppy patty. Yeah. Yeah, at In-N-Out, you can order a puppy patty. They give you a piece of, hamburger. They don't put any salt on it, anything like that. And, your little dogs can enjoy it. All right. Let's move on. Now they're giving you that cleanser. After you write the author's name, you'll write the year published in parentheses. So usually those things you use to make smiley faces, you're going to use to write the year. Write the academic journal names in full and in italics. So you got to actually turn it into italics. So if I were, doing that here, I would write journal title, and then you'd put that. This all shouldn't be underlined. Let's underline it. Journal title, you'd put in italics. Okay. Capitalize all major words in the titles of journals. So, if it's the journal of, adolescent psychology or adolescent sociology, you'd capitalize journal adolescent sociology. You wouldn't capitalize of because that's not a major word. Capitalize the first word of titles and subtitles in an article. So it's actually kind of weird. It looks weird, but when you actually type out an article, you only capitalize the first word of the title, and you don't capitalize any of the other words. Why it's done this way, I have no idea. I'll show you guys some examples later. It looks weird. It's just what they do. Do not enclose the article title and quotation marks. I think you do that in MLA. You don't do it in APA. Okay. You will then write the volume number and the issue number in italics, and then last the page number. So basically, most of these journals will put out like 4 in a year. So the volume might be like that year. So if a journal article has been going since 2000, this might be volume 24. So you're going to put the volume number first, and then throughout the year, maybe they release 4 or 6 or 12 articles, and you put the issue number. And then after that, you'll put the actual page numbers that the journal used. If it is not printed on PDF, most of yours should be, some of them won't be, then you'd include the website address. If you can see it on PDF, that's the same as having it printed, so you won't need to do that. But then you'd list the website address last. You have to keep practicing this to perfect it. I want you guys to learn how to do this. Other teachers might show you generators to do it. You might be able to hunt down generators to do it. That's fine. I want you to know how this is done, because I find, when I've been in college or grad school and I just had to finish a paper, sometimes it was just faster for me to just look at it, type out what needed to be done, and do it myself than have to put all this information into a generator. But I can't micromanage how you're going to do it. And then after each citation, you'll write out the answer to each of your annotated questions. So basically going to go citation, answer to question, citation, answer to question. So I'll have an exemplar so you guys can see this. So if this is feeling confusing, don't stress out. We're going to get, I'll show you how this is going to look. I'll give you guys plenty of rounds of practice too in the next couple of weeks. Okay. Any questions? There's a website that's famous for this. You can go to Purdue OWL. Just type Purdue OWL into your search bar and then search up APA. It'll give you all kinds of information about this. Or, of course, just ask me. I'll show you how to do it. Okay? All right. We got all these words. We feeling good? Great. Here's your last Renzo cleanse. Oh, my gosh. Look how cute he is. Look at him. Look how excited he looks. And there he is laying on a chair. Upload a picture of this on Google Classroom and keep it in your folder. Have a great day.